All right, markets are closed today for President's Day, but U.S. investors, Wall Street, and everyday folks are still digesting last week's inflation report. It showed the rate of inflation had slowed, but some prices remained elevated. So let's bring in Spencer Jakab. He's an investing columnist with the Wall Street Journal. Spencer, so how should everyday Americans digest the report from last week?
No, it really depends how you feel. I mean, the inflation rate did come down. It was a pleasant surprise. We also had an employment report, which was somewhat of a pleasant surprise. But many people don't feel like prices are decelerating, and it's only specific prices and specific statistical quirks that actually brought this inflation rate down to what it was. If you want a sort of a good overall reading of how these two economic reports were received by the market, you can look at the odds of a Fed rate cut by the middle of this year, which are basically unchanged from before the report. So it's very much viewed as a mixed bag.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, the labor market also appeared strong, right, Spencer? Which traditionally for the Fed has given it cover not to lower interest rates. So where do things go from here?
Yeah, you had more rapid payrolls growth than expected. On the other hand, you had a revision to previous months. So there actually are fewer people working, but the growth from month to month was more rapid. So again, a mixed bag. Nothing screaming at the Fed to urgently cut rates. Of course, Chair Powell is due to step down in May, and so we're going to have likely Kevin Warsh be the new Fed chair at a different tone to the Fed. But neither of these reports really screamed hurry up. There have already been 6 rate cuts of 1.75 percentage points since September 2024. It looks like, for now, the odds are tilting the direction of the Fed being on hold because this isn't screaming runaway price increases, but it's not screaming labor market weakness either.
So if interest rates do go down, Spencer, what kind of tangible impacts will everyday consumers see?
Well, again, sorry to throw in so many caveats, but that depends, because the rates that you most likely care about are what you pay on your credit cards or even on your mortgage if you're thinking of buying a house or want to move. Mortgage rates have been stubbornly high. Since rates have started coming down in September 2024, they basically barely have budged because mortgage rates are based on the longer-term interest rates, the bond yields that the Fed really can't control, that shows how nervous the market is about inflation and about the Fed being disciplined in the future. And so those have been relatively flat. Anyone shopping for a home will have noticed that. That's probably number one in many people's minds, whether you want to refinance, move, buy your first home.
All right, Spencer Jakab from the Wall Street Journal. Thank you very much, Spencer. Appreciate it.